Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
We are here with Mike Rainey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hell yeah. I love seeing how people react to when, because doing it over Zoom, we can like play the music to you.
Right.
Or I guess more accurately, we have no choice. It goes, I don't even know how I'd prevent it. But I love watching people react to just like all of us having to be here completely silent while that music plays.
Yeah, dude, some people get the head bob going. I think I saw Mike bobbing his head.
Brendan, do you remember a couple years ago, like I asked you for the link to that? Because I remembered when you put it out, and then I couldn't find it because I wanted to hear it, because I think I wanted to play it for Butterly. And I was like, dude, you got to hear this fucking song. And I messaged you, and you sent me the link for it, and I got to enjoy it all over again.
Hell yeah, that rules. Yeah, that is like, I had a very misfortunate, like, early 20s alcoholic rap phase. And this is like one of the only good things that came out of it.
Man, I got to push back on this every time you say that. 'Cause, dude, even Lemaire, even when I was in Philly with Gillis and Lemaire, he was like, why doesn't Crick release the full... I mean, some songs you'd have to get omit.
Yeah.
But it's really good, dude.
I want to hear them.
Oh, you do. You definitely want to hear them, dude.
All right, maybe I could... Well, Lemaire apparently just plays it for people. Occasionally he'll text me, he'll be like, yeah, we're playing TBB Unit, which is what the name of the group was. Me and my fucking drunk piece of shit buddies.
Brendan, here's my thing. We have got a high tier on the Patreon. Like if you want, like,
yeah, like only the $25 guys get it.
It could be incentive.
And
dude.
Mike.
Yeah, and Mike can get it for free.
No, I would sign up for $25 tier just to hear it. Brendan, can I ask what TBB stands for?
It stands for Taint Bandit Boys.
All right, I love it.
Yeah, it started with we tried to do like a concept thing where it was all taint centric. Like it was very sexual music, but it was like specifically centered around women's taints and our taints, things like that. The concept kind of fell apart.
It's funny you bring up taints, man. I was just messaging with a friend today, and we both agreed that how much more of an appreciation we have for the asshole as we get older.
Mike, I'm right there with you, dude.
Dude, and I feel like when you're younger, it's an afterthought. It's just like you're just fucking like a heat-seeking missile for pussy and bird. Mm-hmm. And then as you get older, you're like, damn, like everybody always forgets about the asshole.
It has a beauty that you can forget.
Mike, I'll tell you, man, I never forgot. All right, like this is, you know what? It's not behind the paywall. I got to be careful. I don't want to dox my girlfriend, but I'm a big fan of the asshole. I'm a huge fan of the asshole.
You know, like Georgia O'Keeffe, like all her like orchid drawings are pussies. Someone needs to do that with assholes.
Yeah, dude, I want to see like I want to see like a field of beautiful assholes. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man,
because and you know what's funny? I don't know what it's hard to like articulate what it is that I like about it. Like, well, if you had to, like, where did
well, you seem prepared to take a stab at it.
I am, and I'm not. I want Mike to test the waters first before I feel.
Nick, I'm just thinking, like when you said you want to see pictures of fields of assholes, I instantly thought of you ever see I think his name is George Surratt, and it's I just pictured instead of people hanging out in the field, it's just assholes, and it's Sunday afternoon on the island on the island of Granja Tainel or whatever it was.
Yeah. So what? I mean, what did like Mike? When did it turn for you? When did you start like what was the first thing about the asshole where you were like, all right, okay, wait a minute, like I might have missed something here.
You know what, Nick? There was a long time, like my girlfriend, who is now my wife, like she's the only one who I have extensive experience with. And I quickly fell in love with pussy eating. And then from there, it's just like, it's like finding out, it's just like, oh, it's like you're the Oakland A's. It's like, yeah, we got Jose Canseco. Then it's like, oh my God, we have Mark McGwire too.
The assholes, yeah.
Go down on your girlfriend. You got the Bash Brothers in her panties.
Dude, that's, oh yeah. Okay, we're the same person. I'm lining up 1-to-1 with you on those tastes. Cause I'm a big,
The asshole is a good like swag bag that you take home from the event.
Yeah, you show up for the Oscars and you're like, oh shit, I got an Xbox One. This is tight. I was pumped for the awards, but this is sick. This is practical.
You know what? I've enjoyed my wife's asshole for years now, and she has actually threatened for a while to eat my asshole, and I've always been apprehensive about it. But recently, I got a nice grooming kit, and on Sunday afternoon, I shaved my asshole for the first time.
Really?
So I think I'm priming for it.
Yeah, you're warming up to it. I've only ever had my ass eaten once, and it was like, I don't know, it was just way too much pressure for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a strange position because like I wouldn't. I just want to say this is not my current girlfriend, so I'm not doxing her in any way. But, this is a woman I respected far less, so I was
Is
more
it Kamala Harris?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be nice.
But yeah, I was like against the wall of the shower, so it had like a prison vibe to
Oh
it.
my god! You got Oz.
And I think she only gave it like 3 or 4 dabs with the tongue, and we were both like, "All right, that's this was
She's
more
cleaning that
about."
brush. Nick, what's your go-to position for getting your butt eaten?
So you know what? I know. I hate even talking about my asshole. Like this is the hypocrisy of me because I love eating ass. It's I like maybe at this stage of my life more than eating pussy. I love being back there. I love getting my nose in it, all that stuff. I don't even like acknowledging that I have an asshole. I think it's disgusting.
It's very selfless of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's like it's like eating ass is definitely like one of the things where I'm like with every partner I'm like pretty into that. But there's never even been like interest shown in like reciprocating. So like I've never even had to like rebuff the advances of a girl who wants to eat my asshole, which I'm thankful for.
Would you rebuff them, or would you like oh no,
I would,
stop, haha, lol,
I would
please
rebuff
don't.
hard.
You would like
I would
violently.
I love that as we're talking about this, Nick's cat showed up in the background, and man, would it be poetic if that cat just started chowing his own asshole?
She probably will. So I learned this. This might be a fucked up thing to say. Do you have cats, Mike?
Yes, I have one.
All right. Have you ever blown on the cat's asshole, like while it's like got its tail up in front of you? No, you should do that because somebody. I guess this isn't. I haven't fact checked this at all, but like one person that I knew told me that if you blow on your cat's asshole, it'll think that you're its mother.
Oh.
So I'm all about like trying to like bond with animals that I have. So like first dog I had, heard if you bite the dog on the ear.
Please tell me who told you this.
It was our buddy Dom.
His cat.
Yeah.
And actually, if you suck the cat's asshole, it thinks it's your dad.
Yeah, so
I was imagining just like a total stranger, like you're just like in line, like at the store, and someone
guy
leans
just
over.
turned around wide-eyed. He was like, "Hey, did you know? Hey, I've got a fun fact." No, but I did. I started like when my cat, because like my cat used to not be super friendly. Now she's like she loves me, and I swear to God, it started when I would like not from close, but like from I can blow a pretty fair distance. I started like blowing on her asshole. And then she got like she became really friendly to me.
It's also how you give a cat COVID.
No.
Dude, that's how like adoptees, like that's how they should match them up with their birth mothers. To be like, look, you just got to line your butthole up, and when the right lady blows on it, you'll know it's her.
It'll make a jug sound.
Oh, we're getting close. She's cleaning.
Yep. Her big fat pussy is hanging all over my bed right now. But Brandon, I've never had COVID, and I never will have COVID.
It's not
so
real.
I don't think I would give my cat COVID like that. If I could just say, if I could be on the record.
Yeah. Well, I would recommend anyway, just wearing a mask when you blow directly into your cat's asshole.
You don't need to keep doing it. I did it enough. I established the bond.
Oh, so it's not like it has like a half-life and then you gotta like re-up every now and then.
It's not like telling your girlfriend I love you. You don't have to say it every day. You gotta blow in the cat's asshole when you leave for work each morning. Right before you fuck it.
I'm telling you, I swear to God, I feel like if you look that up, you'll find it was like one result of somebody verifying that. I think that's true.
Tomorrow I'm going to Google that, and somehow it's going to bring up like this podcast episode, only result.
I mean, hey, that would be sick.
That'd be a bad way to find out Google transcribes podcasts.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds true. Did you guys ever see that guy that's like an Instagram star? His name's Dean Schneider. He's got a like a wild animal preserve in Africa, and he's like part of a lion pride, and like he'll behave like a lion, and they've accepted him as one of their own.
Damn.
Dude,
Dean
I
Schneider
haven't heard
sounds
about
like...
that.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I'm all about that.
I was saying that Dean Schneider sounds like a cool guy persona of Dan Schneider. For like the hard-to-get kids.
It's like Dan Schneider, but just jacked.
Yeah. He just got a leather jacket.
That's his cover. He's just hanging out with the lions now.
He's just smelling paws.
I have a feeling the lions would see through me immediately.
Yeah, you would get ripped to shreds. Like, you just have that vibe.
I'm like,
So
did you
I'd
ever
have-
see... Oh, go
I'd
ahead.
have like yellow face paint and like whiskers and stuff. Just get fucking wrecked immediately.
Mike, did you ever see Grizzly Man?
No, I'm aware of what it is, though.
Because it's the same thing with that guy where like people watch that movie. Because I'm like, you say that guy's acting like a lion. I'm like, hey, he's probably like, they probably like him. He's probably like they're probably down with him. Because like, even in that Grizzly Man movie, like even though he got fucking eaten, like it was working. It's because he started hanging out with bears that he didn't know that he got eaten. But I'm like, what's this guy's name? Dean Schneider.
Yeah, he's like a hot German dude.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna follow this guy. I'm all about people who like just start like hanging out with like packs of predators.
Do you think
You'll
being
love it.
hot influences his success? Like the lions are kind of turned on, so they accept him?
I
he's-
would
He's
say so.
verified.
And dude, he's rough with them too. Like there's one that's like really aggressive, and he socks her like when she acts up, and people complain about it. But he's like, look, these are like 600-pound beasts I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a
Get
poster here.
canceled for hitting a girl lion.
Dude, he's got a fucking post right here. I guess it's a video, but it just says feeding time. His hand is covered in blood, like blood all the way up to his elbow, and he's just letting a fucking lion like lick the blood off his hand.
Now he's
This
just
guy
getting
fucking
cocky.
rules.
He's got to get... Because I guess like eventually just being with lions is going to be old hat, and he's not going to get enough likes. So he's like, what if I put my dick in the lion's mouth?
It's about trust.
Yeah.
It's all about establishing trust. That's fucking sick, dude.
Well, in my opinion, you should not do that with lions. That's my stance.
I mean,
Brendan, what animal group do you think you would fit in best with?
Only,
that they would
like-
accept you as their own.
Just like small dogs only. Like, but in this scenario, it's like wild small dogs.
Okay.
It's like a post-apocalypse where like pets are now in a pack, and I just joined the pack.
It's like homeless schnauzers.
Yeah.
I would love to watch you just like running with the pugs, dude. Just like
Yeah.
just like majestically.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this before, that I am basically like a human pug, where I look like if you were trying to breed like a different kind of human and it didn't work out.
Yeah, like you look at Crick and you're like, somebody must have done that on purpose. 'Cause it's,
That guy
Yeah.
was just getting fucked up with his boys one night. It's like, yo, watch this.
So we're gonna make a guy. He's gonna be like 5'2" and like square. It's gonna be real weird. I feel like me and Pugs, we would be on the same cycle of like when we would need to take breaks running. I think that would work out pretty good.
yeah, similar respiratory problems.
Yeah.
I have a pug's nose for sure. Like not like inside. Like my nose looks physically like structurally sound on the outside. Absolute mess. I feel like my nose feels like it's like a duck's vagina. Like, you know, like you'd imagine the nostrils go straight up. I feel like I have a bunch of like false like nostrils.
Yeah.
I just,
It's
like, I can't get
polyps
air at
and
all.
shit, right?
What?
It's like polyps and shit. What? I don't know.
No, do you know what's crazy? Not even. Found that out when I got COVID tested. the lady like stuck the thing in my nose. She's like, whoa, your nostrils are so, because I told her that I thought that I had like polyps. That's why I'm so like my breathing is so like labored through my nose. And when she stuck the thing up, she's like, there's nothing in your nostrils at all. I was like, fuck me, dude.
Damn.
Did she test you with a crazy straw?
Damn. So are they still doing that? I thought that they were done with like the pipe cleaner thing.
No, they still do it.
No, they still do it.
Yeah, how else would they do it?
With like they stick it in your gums and shit now. Like
They blow into your asshole now.
Yeah, they blow directly into your asshole.
You're clean. And I'm your mother.
Yeah, no, it's when I did it, like I literally just got it, and it was up the nose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only
Yeah.
got that one once. Then since then they've been doing like the different ones. But you said you just had some sort of like caper with trying to get vaccinated, right?
Well, I wanted to hear about Mike's before we got on Mike. Mike said that his whole family had COVID, but he got vaccinated. Like, how'd you get vaccination, dude?
I'm a direct care worker for somebody with special needs, so I kind of lucked out, and I just got a notification. My boss just emailed me like last Wednesday and said, "Hey, if you want it, I could probably get you an appointment." And then 2 days later, I got vaccinated.
So that was what was supposed to happen yesterday. Because I don't know if you know, dude, but like the Pfizer vaccine specifically, this was the whole runaround we had yesterday. So they're vaccinating at the Forum. I got a buddy whose girlfriend's sister-in-law. It's already you can see how like how far removed the relationship is. His girlfriend's sister-in-law was an administrator on the site, and when they put saline in the Pfizer vaccine, they do like 6 doses at a time, but they wind up with a bunch of like dozens of doses at the end of the day that they can't use again because like like once you put the saline in, there's a time limit on like how long it's good for. Okay. So they're just like tossing out and destroying like dozens of doses every day. Okay. So like if you show up at the end of the day and play it cool, they'll just let you get like cut in line for getting vaccinated because they don't want to destroy the doses.
So you were trying to be like the homeless guy at Little Caesars at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, it was a Panera Bread scam. It's like I know you're gonna throw those loaves away. Give them to me. And so,
and that's how you get all medicine.
Yes,
like, you get the scraps of the medical.
Yeah, can I have some of those week-old boner pills? Just take them home, give them to the cats.
Well, the cat needs to have a hard dick when you blow on its asshole, so that it'll whistle. Well,
that was
through.
how I was blowing on its asshole and its dick wasn't getting hard, and that's when I knew something was wrong. I was like, we gotta get you pilled up, dude.
I would love to like hear you float the blow on the asshole thing by like a vet.
No,
like,
you want to know why? 'Cause I don't need to know. I don't need somebody to shut me down. I don't need less joy in my life.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if the fucking lion guy floated what he was doing by a vet.
Does he blow on the lion's assholes?
He has to.
Dude, that's what I was saying. That's why I initially brought it up, is because like he has to. Like, he spends so much time around these things, and he funds the whole thing himself. Like, he was just some ridiculously wealthy German banker who was just like, all right, I'm done with banking, and I'm 28, and I've made more money than I could ever spend, so I'm just gonna blow it on lions.
Literally.
Well, now
it's like, dude, and
I
you know, like
respect
with lions' assholes, you know, like his mouth won't cut it. He's got to get one of those like plastic air guns where like you pull it back and snap it. And he's just like fucking. He's in the Sahara with fucking toys aiming them at lions' assholes.
The scary thing about that, though, is and most veterinarians will back me up on this, but lions have barbed assholes as well. It's not just barbed penises; it goes both ways.
it's a natural defense. I gotta get a barbed asshole.
I know, right?
Sounds convenient.
That's what I'm saying, man. But so you got hooked up with some of the extra vaccine.
Yeah, I went in. It was like 15 minutes. It was great, and I go back in like a month. Although the first night I had like an hour's worth of chills, and I was like, I don't know if this is supposed to happen. And
It is.
Yeah.
They say you get fucking sick if you take it.
Now, my question is, if I get it, will it cure my autism?
It'll double it.
Look, cancel it out.
It'll push all your autism chips in.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Either cure it or make it way, way worse.
It would be
I
awesome
love
if, like,
rolling the dice.
super autistic Crick, like you get the vaccine and you just see like the Milky Way form in front of your eyes, like you just like are tuned into the fabric of the universe.
Barn Dog, do you have any cats?
I do not have cats. I'm allergic.
Oh.
I want a dog very badly. Not a pug, I don't think, because it would.
Now, how would you bond with it? Would blowing on his asshole be out of the question, or would you
Gotta bite its
take a
ear.
more traditional route?
I don't know. I've never had a dog. I think what would happen is I would just like get way too emotionally invested in it loving me, and like put it off by coming on too strong. 'Cause that's what I do with other people's dogs for the most part.
Well, I mean, the nice thing about dogs is like dogs just give that. This is almost kind of why I don't like dogs, because dogs are like kind of like they're like emotional sluts. Like they just give 100% like I love you energy to fucking everybody. But a cat is like a cat's like a woman that you have like locked in your basement, where it's like she needs you. You know.
And you're feeding both dog food as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Dude, when we got this cat, I didn't want a cat. Like we had a cat that took off when he was older, and it still bothers me to this day that like he didn't die here. So I was still brokenhearted over our last cat. That was like 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home one day, and there was my wife had a kitten, and I was fucking furious. And I left the house, and I was texting my wife. I'm saying I'm staying at a hotel tonight. Either I'm going or that cat's going. And I made her take the cat back to where she got it from. And then the next night, I went and picked it up because I felt bad. But going back to your point about having to earn cat's affection, like I feel like I earned that cat's affection by getting rid of him and then getting him back.
He knows what's at stake now.
Yeah, he knows I'm not playing. He knows I'm essentially willing to hit him in a restaurant for talking back.
For acting out of pocket. Yeah.
Nick, is that true though that people bite dogs' ears to gain dominance over them?
This is another thing that one person told me, and I did it. I don't even know if somebody. I think I read. So I definitely know that was external information before I just did it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, somebody told me that, and then I bit my dog's ear to like show that I was dominant, and I think it worked.
Well, I'm glad you believe these things, and also I want to let you know that I truly believe that if you suck your podcast co-host dick, you become a multimillionaire.
Really? Well, how come you haven't?
Do you
done
have to
that
suck it well?
Yeah,
I mean, I could give like one or two licks or something. Will I get like? Could I get like 50K doing that? Does it stack like that?
If you have to suck it to completion, I think Brendan and I are both in like a stalemate there, because I don't think either of us come from blowjobs.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I like whenever. That's another one that I rebuff. Like women think they're doing you a favor when they're like, let me blow you like to completion, and I'm like, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Turn over. Like,
yeah, getting your dick sucked is like going to a baseball game. It feels awesome. Then by like the third inning, you're like, all right, I just want to go home at this point.
yeah, I ate my snacks.
I don't know.
think I've-
I went off antidepressants and I like blowjobs again.
You
that's
like them,
cool.
but do you come?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
I mean, I always
okay.
liked them, but the coming, I don't know. I'm doing the most coming that I have in many, many years.
Oh, that's good.
Having a big renaissance there.
I mean, I'm in favor of blowjobs. Just like they're a great jump start. You know what I mean? It's like yeah, do that first, lube me up. Now we're ready to go. But like as a main course, it's just never been my thing.
It's weird. I'm with you, dude. It's weird. Like with blowjobs, I feel like I have this trick where like I'll tense my muscles and then I'll be able to come.
Oh yeah.
But then with pussy, it's almost instantaneous. Like as soon as I get in there, I feel like an autistic kid in Dave and Buster's. It's like everything's just fucking going. Everything's firing at 1,000,000 miles a minute, and it's over with.
I know what you mean though, where you're like completely locking your knees to the point where like it's damaging them.
Yeah, if I'm
It's like if I squeeze all the blood out of every other part of my body, it's gonna somehow force cum out with it, I think.
that's the only way that I've ever even like you get that when I'm getting blown. Like I can't be sitting. Like if I'm getting blown and I want to get, and I'm still never come from it. But it's like if I think I'm getting close, I've got to like lay down completely like supine on the bed. I've got to lock my knees. I point my toes like a ballerina. Like there's like it's like full muscle tensing just to like squeeze but I still can't get there. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Just to eke out a cum.
Yeah, seriously.
That's another thing. I'm 42 now, and most of mine are eked out. Like every now and again, like if I go a couple days without getting one out, like I could shoot it a little distance, but I'm more eking than anything else.
Yeah, well,
It's an honest cum.
What?
It's an honest cum. You know you've worked hard for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude. When it just like dribbles out like treacle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when a pitcher has to become a knuckleballer. It's like you could still throw, but man.
This is not what it once was.
Yeah, you're a novelty act at this point.
I love looking down at cum and just seeing it as a monument to my decline.
I mean, like the one out of 10 times when it does spray, when it looks like it does in the videos, I get really excited.
Yeah.
It's such a funny way to phrase it. Just like in porn.
Yeah, well, the way that I assume, because my brain has been destroyed by it from the time that I was 13, that what I assume is normal.
I wonder what it would be like if my first 2,000 sexual experiences in my life, or even more, hadn't been me and like a 360p video that I torrented off LimeWire. I wonder how different things would be. Presumably much better.
Was there ever a time in your life when you preferred jacking off to cartoons?
Yeah, I would say pretty early on, because I found porn pretty early on. And as soon as you find it, it's not like, I'll get to this later. This is my life now.
Right.
It's like if you fucking kill your dad as a kid. It's like, all right, I'm a murderer now.
So you said you're 42, so when you found porn, was it videos or was it like VHSs or
it was
internet?
It was initially print porn, and then it became videos. And then I didn't experience internet porn until I was out of the house and living on my own. Like I'm 42, and I think, fuck, man, I would say up until maybe early 2000s, it was cassette tapes and DVDs for me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've used that as like a measurement of like my progress, like because I've had periods where I was like super porn addicted, and then if I was able to come to just like a still image, I was like, all right, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there if we need it. We can go back.
Well, I remember like you do weird shit like when you're like I must have been like 13 or 14 because I started jacking off kind of late. I had actual sex like not long after I started jacking off, but like there was a weird like the summer before I had sex. We would do like weird stuff together. Like the 13-year-old kids in my neighborhood, like there was this like video game on Xbox called Rumble Roses, and it was a bunch of like girls, like girls in bikinis wrestling and shit. And we would like my buddy would come over, we'd watch each other play around, and then like at a certain point in time, one of us would go to the bathroom in my basement and we'd be in there for like 10 minutes. Then we'd come out and switch. It was like we were like taking it in from we were like seeing it on the match, tagging information on reserve. Yeah. We're basically doing the game in real life. And then the other time that was really fucking bad was we snuck down to my buddy's basement where his dad had like it was a VHS tape of like golfing instructions, but it's just a topless chick. Like it's not even porn. The chick is just topless golfing while like two guys. I don't know if it's supposed to be tongue in cheek or what, but like it's just a topless chick playing golf. And he's got it on his like little like 10-inch TV or whatever the fuck was in his bedroom. And I'm in the sleeping bag like on the ground and he's in his bed. And I just start jacking off because I thought that's why we were doing this. And he got really mad at me. He got really mad at me for jacking off in his sleeping bag.
Oh, it wasn't even a sleeping bag you brought.
It was provided to me.
Oh man, I feel like it's got to take so much to get cum out of a sleeping bag. Yeah. I feel like it's worse than sheets.
You gotta throw it out.
Yeah.
And he like got mad at me. He like yelled at me to stop, and I was like, "Why the fuck did you even put it on, dude? This is bullshit." Like, it was a huge falling out.
What the hell was I going to say? Oh, I feel like that was a big thing that I never experienced, which was whacking off in front of your boys. Barn Dog, did you do that too?
No, I never did that. I remember the closest I came was in like 10th grade. Me and my friends, we had a sleepover, and we put on the Comcast on demand softcore porn.
Oh yeah,
You guys know that, where it would be like a full movie with just like a lot of tits in it,
yeah.
or like just like completely softcore scenes. But there was no jacking off. It was just kind of like on in the background for ambiance. I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were playing like N64. Man, I kind of miss that though. Weirdly, I'm like nostalgic for Comcast on demand. Not even just the porn. Maybe it's just being out here. I'm like, man, I miss Comcast being just like a constant horrible presence in my life.
Right. Yeah, I was bummed out. Like I don't have cable anymore. I was bummed out when I went home and like it doesn't even look like I remember. Like the blue bar is gone. It's all like cable is fucking insane now, to the point where like I just leave the TV off when I'm home. Because it creeps me the fuck out. I forget where I was going with that. But I guess I jacked off with my boys more than I considered being more than is a normal amount. Now that I think about it,
I would love like a nationwide survey. I want to know what like the median is.
Nick, I think you would have a lot of company, man. Because when I first heard it, it was when I heard Gillis talking about it, and I was like, dude, that's fucking insane. But then I have heard it. I feel like that opened something within the universe, and I just became subjected to so many more stories of dudes admitting to beating off with their boys when they were teenagers.
Well, sometimes I have to wonder about stuff like that though, because it's like when your sample size is just like comics, you're probably gonna get some really bad data.
That's true. But it wasn't like we were like all taking our cocks out. Like it was always like somebody always went away, or it was like concealed. It wasn't like it was just like bukkake without the girl.
Yeah, when you're that age, there's always a lot of clandestine bird movement. Like even in school, I feel like there was a lot of like wiggling under the desk and tucking it into the waistband, even when it didn't need to be tucked.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I would like push mine up into the bottom of the desk. That was a big move for me.
I was touching my penis all the time when I was like in middle school.
You have to.
You literally.
Someone needs to tend to it. You can't just leave it on its own.
I don't know what fucking spirit I was possessed by, but I was always just like a security blanket. I was just like holding my nuts.
Got to make sure nothing happens to them.
Yeah, dude.
Man, that was a simultaneous nightmare and a blessing. And I'll never forget the very first time where I felt like my bird might do something other than pee. I remember I was laying belly down on the floor, and you know how you get that little like tingle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was just like I felt that. I was like, wait a minute, that was something. It's like fucking Jurassic Park when everybody's got to stop because it's like you just heard a fucking T-Rex coming.
Yeah, the water.
I have no idea where it is. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the table with my glass of water, and I'm just like, wait a minute. There's definitely comb about.
Well, dude, the belly down. That was because it's funny. So when I finally started jerking off on purpose, you realize like because I would like wake up mid wet dream. I think I had to be like 9 or 10, and just like face down in my bed, and that's when you just like rub against the mattress to like keep the feeling going. Yeah. And it didn't. It's funny. I don't even think I put the pieces together until after I had been jacking off for a while. I was like, oh shit, I think that's the same thing that I was feeling when I was like a kid.
Dude, it's weird how that doesn't automatically occur to you, and kind of related to that, I remember the very first time I cranked it, I was pulling balls too. It was like I was loading a shotgun. Yeah. And I had seen enough movies to know that, like, you can get your desired result without having to pull balls, but I think I just wanted to be certain. Boy, did
You
I
wanted
get
to
what
use
I wanted.
every part
You
of the
wanted your
buffalo.
first time to be special. I think if I have a son someday, I think I'm going to give him a little bit more information than I had. Because there's a lot that can go wrong looking back at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's funny you mentioned that, Brenda, because even though I'd seen so much porn, I did get a sex talk from my dad, but he barely covered anything. And on top of that, I was just mortified because it happened on, I think it was my 12th birthday. He had just taken me out to eat at my favorite diner. I had raviolis and meatballs at Margate Diner in Upper Darby. And afterwards, he was taking me to go see Home Alone. I was on the way there. I'm like, this is the best fucking day of my life. Oh, shit. Dude, and I'll never forget what he started doing with his hands. He started talking about, he's like, I remember him saying, when a man and woman love each other. And then I knew it was happening. And then I'll never forget, like, his hands on the steering wheel, he kept doing this, doing the forefinger in between the other forefinger and the thumb on his other hand, just insinuating penetration. And the ride was like fucking 25 minutes long, and I feel like he did that for nearly the entire ride.
It would have been so funny if he crashed.
He was just found like this.
Yeah, he was. You wander. They find you like 20 feet away from the accident. You never speak again.
There's so many like props and stuff in a car, though. You could use like the gear shifter or the
He drives you through
window
a tunnel.
wiper fluid thing. Yeah.
Paramedics come on the scene and they come up to my mom. They're like, just so you know, your husband's last words were, if you come early, it's her fault. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I worry because like what you were talking about, like being on your belly and like kind of worming it around like that. I stuck with that like way long, like even after I knew about using your hand correctly, because it just like I don't know, it worked better. Mm-hmm. So there were like years of me just like mashing my dick into various surfaces. That can't have been good. I feel like that's something that definitely I feel like maybe changed the course of my entire life.
You and Isaac both had the same thing. You guys like you were like in your teens, just like slamming your waist into like couches and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember just like the coffee table, just like flipping it up in like my fucking like cargo shorts, just like grinding it into like wood, just wood.
Yeah,
I remember there was a night right after I started masturbating where it was like the equivalent of like an all night coke binge. Where I don't know how many times I squeezed so much fucking cum out of my dick. I was literally, I think I was up till like 3 a.m. And like, and like a coke binge in the sense that like I was in the guest bedroom of the house because that's where the TV was. By the time I was done, I was covered in sweat.
You're
My
making
eyes were
phone
bloodshot.
calls.
I was dehydrated, and I still remember like in the morning just like smelling the room and just being like, that'll probably air out. I'm sure that'll air out before we go to church.
You have a son, right, Mike?
yeah. I have a son and 2 daughters.
How old is your son? Like, I'm just curious. Like, how obvious is this from a dad's perspective? All this nonsense.
He's 10, so it's I've initiated I feel like the introductory course without having to get into like all the details now because I feel like he's already aware of a lot just by jokes that he makes. He makes he's a big fan of 69 jokes already.
Nice.
Which is incredible. But I definitely will have to sit down at some point and say like, look, dude, this is going to be awful for the both of us, but I have to give you this speech and then I have to kill you.
So you're not yet into like the age where it's just going to be American Pie antics of like having to announce yourself before entering rooms.
It feels like I'm like a blind woman sitting on like a Nebraska porch and just feeling like just knowing the storm's coming. just the breeze isn't right. The chickens are running in. It's like, man, this is not going to be good.
you get like a pain in your leg, in like your tibia. You're just like, I know this feeling.
Yeah, I'm rubbing like a phantom dick.
Well, I got the talk. I remember getting the talk again before I got the talk before I masturbated. The information I didn't get a lot of information out of the talk with my dad because my relationship with my dad at that point was like I was always in trouble. So when he even, for whatever reason, when he even started to talk about it, we were like in Michigan on like family vacation, and he like took me out to like go get food at this diner, and it was outdoor seating. And so he started to talk about it, and for whatever reason, I just started like bawling uncontrollably, like losing my mind, crying. And people keep like coming in and out of the diner. Like 10 minutes passes, I don't stop crying, and there's just like various like families like looking really concerned at me and my father. My dad has to just like wave them away. So all I got from it was I knew that like the dick was supposed to go in the pussy, but I didn't know.
And that just destroyed you.
It did. It completely destroyed me. But I didn't know that the dick would get hard one day. So then, so I thought, like, I literally thought that, like, the way that you put your dick in a chick's pussy was like you almost laid down like feet facing each other. Maybe there's some leg overlap, and then she had to like insert your soft dick into her vagina. And I remember like being like getting really in my head of just like, my dick's got to get so much fucking bigger before it's ready to do that, because like there's no way I'll have to like scissor a girl.
Yeah, the way you describe that, I now understand crying, because like for some reason I was imagining like masks being involved and like
No,
a big gong.
The way I was imagining it looked like a ceremony in my head, like something fucked up.
Now, how much of a relief was it when you realized it wasn't that elaborate?
Once I realized that the dick gets hard, and that like, and once I finally also like,
well, this changes everything.
It changes everything. Once I was watching porn with my boys, I was like, oh, you can look her in the eyes. I hadn't even considered that. Like,
oh, it's probably someone you know. I didn't think of that part.
It would have been sweet if like the waitress serving you was like, the dick gets hard, hon.
She puts down a basket of fries.
I kind of relate to that because I had a really intense emotional reaction to the talk as well. I never got a talk from my parents really, but we had like a day in 6th grade where we had like all the boys had to go in one room and all the girls in the other, and you sat through like a PowerPoint, and I just completely like blacked out and passed out on the floor.
Like a fainting goat.
Yeah.
Sex is a threat to you.
I remember like them having like a big like cutaway diagram of a dick and balls and like pointing out the different shit. And then I just remember waking up with like everyone's around me looking down at me on the
floor. That's so awesome.
like a mob burial in a movie where the camera's like looking down. Oh, guys.
Boys to Men is throwing roses on top of you.
But I didn't even get the rest of the presentation because the nurse just brought a wheelchair up and then my mom took me home.
Dude, can you just see it in everybody's face staring down at you, them thinking pussy is going to be a problem for this dude his entire life.
So you just see a bicep, you see a cut in half cock, and then never get the rest of the information.
I'm just like, are they going to do that to me? And then I just black out.
You're like, wow, sex looks fucked up.
Damn, how do you do it more than once? I think I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but for some reason, my dad will tell me, because my dad listens to every episode now, and then he'll call me and like discuss.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's sweet, parts of it, and then other it's like, all right, I didn't need to necessarily rehash that one, but yeah, I think I remember my mom having like a McDonald's milkshake for me in the car, like I guess knowing that like, all right, this was a bad day for him.
I never understood that, where it's like I'm about to like me, your father, is about to like have the most disgusting conversation imaginable with you. But I bet you want to eat afterwards, right? Like you want to eat something sugary and sweet.
Yeah, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Just you probably won't even have to, dude.
Yeah, he'll like he'll have like learned in whatever is their fortnight then. It'll be
You know, Barn Dog, I just had an epiphany. I think maybe we could cut the anxiety on both our ends and just have you give my son the talk.
okay. Yeah, then I'll practice for my son someday.
All right.
Mike,
Can
you
you-
sure you want to do that?
I think so. Can I have you here too as well, Nick? Just
Sure.
in case Brendan passes out.
Yeah. Yeah, Brendan passes out. I go over, I pull his pants down and blow on his asshole.
I'll make sure my mom has a milkshake ready for him.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much all the intel he needed. I think that's good. Looking back on it, it's a good thing that they separated the guys and the girls, because that'd be rough if it was like everyone and then I passed out and all the girls saw.
Oh my god, dude.
Damn, you're
Yeah.
right. That is a silver lining to that.
Oh, I just remembered another detail is I have a twin sister, so what happened was like she saw me. I guess she was like going to the.
Did she feel your boners when you got them?
Good God, I hope not. But she just like so we get split off into like the girls seminar and the guys seminar. I don't know if she was going to the bathroom or what, or if like someone else saw me and told her. But her, like, because there were no cell phones or anything back then, all she knew was like, oh, my brother went to the sex ed talk. Now he's in a wheelchair and he's no longer here. I don't know what she was thinking the rest of the day.
Brenda, I got to be honest with you, man. If somebody had said, like, look, Rainey, I need you to put a list together of 3 people that you've met in your lifetime that you can envision being wheeled out of a sex ed talk, you would be one of those 3 people.
That's even better because, like, I think we've met like 3 times.
That was my. Crick and I were hiking, and I told him, I was like, yo, I reached out to Rainey to do the podcast, and Crick's like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, we've never really hung out. I was like, oh, I assumed you guys were tight.
Well,
Brendan is somebody, I felt a kindred spirit to you from the moment I became aware of you. And even though I would say being in each other's presence 3 times is accurate. But I got to tell you, dude, hearing sucking my own dick, as soon as I heard that, I was like, nobody else would do this. There isn't one person that I know right now. You how long ago did you make that? Probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
yeah. I think that was like 2013, maybe.
Okay. It just blew my mind that somebody could be that open and honest, not only about wanting to suck their own dick, but to make an actually song about it and make a very good song about it.
It's a good song.
Thank you.
All of Crick's song. This is the craziest thing about it. Like, he doesn't want to release it. All the songs are legitimately, like, when I heard them, I'm like, I want that on my fucking iPod. Like, I want to listen to that while I'm walking around.
Yep.
See, this has been my problem through my whole life is like I feel like I've had many talents that I let all of them completely waste away to focus on stand-up comedy, which was the worst one to pick. And now it's illegal.
Yeah, dude. That was one of the things, like, I think we've talked about this before, but, like, that song was, like, what made me start listening to Coward Hour when it was in Philly. And, like, when it came out here, I'm like, we got to use that song. That song is, and we still, to this day, like, I get DMs, like, on the Coward Hour account, on my account, that are just like, yo, send me that song.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Do you envision more songs coming down the pike?
I don't think so. I downloaded the software I used to use to make the beats like a year ago, and I had completely forgotten how to do it.
Damn.
Plus, like, I mean, that was just. I mean, part of the reason I don't want to release it is I'm not really embarrassed of the music, but like some of the lyrics on there are like offensive to me now. So like I can't imagine other people listen, because that was like me at like 21, blind drunk, just like, so I don't know. I think that would be the worst. Like getting canceled for something I say on a podcast, I could live with that. But like if someone's playing like clips of me rapping, that's a huge L.
Oh my god!
Right, because that's a real commitment to saying something, something fucked up. Like you did multiple takes.
Yeah. There were other people in the room like bobbing along. I also I don't really listen.
Die.
Yeah, if I die, I'll let it all go. I also just like don't really listen to rap music anymore, so I don't know what I would be inspired by. Like since then, I just have unfortunately become like a guy who just exclusively listens to Grateful Dead. So I can't imagine I would have like an interesting take on beat making at the moment.
Nick, what are your musical inspirations?
I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of hardcore, like punk, like a lot of like metal and punk, and now, more like I was really into like a lot of like 70s shit for a while. I don't know. I'm in a drought right now where I'm not listening to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like 5 songs that I go back to. But yeah, I was mainly like when I was a kid, it was mainly like metal and hardcore.
What about you, Mike?
It changes with time. It's funny you brought up hardcore because like that's what I'm getting into now. I feel like I'm always decades behind anything that's fucking cool. And I saw a video of John Joseph from the Cro-Mags, and I was like, oh, this dude's the man. And then I started listening, and I was like, wow, I really like this. And then from there, I've listened to some Minor Threat, Bad Brains.
Yeah.
So
the
more that I hear, the more I like. And this is pretty cool. One of the listeners of Dad Meat reached out to me, and he's an author, and he's written about the punk scene pretty extensively. He's written 2 really great books, and I'm waiting for them to come. They should be here any day now. But he's had a ton of like super cool experiences like with people in that scene, and it just seems like I really missed the boat on something really cool, not knowing about this earlier.
Yeah, dude, because I was in a hardcore band for like a year when I was like 18, and I got to like the one year that I did it playing shows in Baltimore, I got to play like with a couple bands who like I like bought their records, I had their I like looked up to them.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
It was, and one of the bands, we did a show with this band. I'm wearing the shirt Full of Hell. We did like a little show with them at the Charm City Art Space, and now they're enormous. They're like a huge act. Really quick, if you're really into the Cro-Mags, do you know the band Power Trip?
I'm not aware of them yet. No.
Okay. Do yourself a favor if you like that. Whenever you get a minute, download the album Nightmare Logic by Power Trip. I think it's one of the best. The lead singer just died, like in quarantine, like he passed away. So that'll probably be like the last album they put out. But like if you like those almost like yelpy like vocals and like the metal hardcore kind of thing,
yeah,
Power Trip Nightmare Logic is like that's the record for you, dude. You'll love it.
I'm gonna write that down.
But the punk scene is really cool. That's kind of why it's cool. Like being on Hard Times is kind of sick because like they embody that whole ethos. I think they did an interview with John Joseph. I'm on their podcast. I might be mistaken, but like it's a really cool. Like every punk scene that I've ever like whether it was like like the Baltimore punk scene or like the DC punk scene, everybody in it is usually like just down and like cool to hang out with and open minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got into punk like after high school, after when I guess you were supposed to, because I was just like, girls with tattoos, I would really like to fuck them. And it appears that they're all at the same location.
Yeah. They're all in this it
appears,
flop house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long journey to this point. I mean, for the longest time, and I'm still into it too. I was huge into rap. That's pretty much all I listened to as a kid, because the neighborhood I grew up in, there was this really cool record shop that sold primarily rap, and it was so cool because it was like you could hear it from blocks away. They would just have the doors open. They would be blasting like whatever was new, and they would just let you go in there and hang out, and you would hear all this cool new shit. And I just got into shit I wouldn't have otherwise known about. Like I remember being probably like fucking less than 10 years old and just buying Fear of a Black Planet by Public Enemy just because I thought the cover looked cool. And I got home, I was like, oh man, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard. And I'm just like a little little chubby 10-year-old white kid just listening to this and feeling like I can relate to these lyrics.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was like, it's like, it's pretentious to say, but like I got into like collecting records when I was in high school, and it's something that's gone, because like now I feel like the way that people are recommending new music is like the Spotify recommendations. But I had a guy at a record store that I would go to who would just like play me cool shit. Like I'd come into the store, he'd see what I was buying, and he'd be like, "You're buying those, you'll like this," and then would like sell me the third record. And it's like, it's cool to me that you're getting into new shit like in your 40s, because that's what everybody tells you will stop happening. You know what I mean? Like, and I even feel myself slowing down where like I'm not listening to new stuff, but like I want to be. And it typically depends on, like, I'm living in a situation right now where like I don't have a lot of money to spend on like extra shit, and I like to like buy things physically. But I go through cycles where like I like consume music voraciously, and then I like stop. And I don't want to stop completely. You know?
Yeah, I get it, man.
Whatever part of your brain gets excited about new music, I feel like it's just like calcified, and I'm just like listening to the same shit.
But I can feel that you know what's crazy? Everyone's like, yeah, you stop getting into shit, but I also like do feel like enjoying music is like missing from my life. I'm like it used to be more exciting to get into shit, and it was like an aspect of my life that was definitely very enriching. That's not, it's like I do miss it, but I don't know how to start doing it again.
That feeling is definitely there, because it's very easy excuse me, for me to get in the habit of just listening to the same fucking 40 songs that I listen to on a regular basis. So it's hard to like click on something new. It's almost like it feels like fucking working out. It's like, oh God, I gotta listen to something new for 4 fucking minutes. But then you hear it and it's just like, oh, this is the fucking best. And something you said just triggered a thought in my head, Nick, about the guy saying, oh, if you were buying this, you would probably like this. There was something that somebody at that record store that a guy recommended to me, because they would sell singles. The singles were $1. And a single that this guy recommended that I think said a lot about who he thought I was as a 10-year-old fat wigger was this song called Back to the Hotel by a group called In Too Deep.
I don't know it.
Dude, you have to fucking listen to this. It is the wigger pussy getting anthem.
Dude, Mike, I don't take this the wrong way, but like, you do have residual wigger vibes. Like, if like I didn't.
What part of Philly was this that you were growing up in?
This was right outside West Philly. It was a place called Upper Darby.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was like the central transportation hub for SEPTA, the Transportation Authority. There, it was in Upper Darby, so it had like a city vibe to it.
Gotcha.
Because it was so close.
I miss Philly so much recently. Like, through quarantine, more and more, I'm like, why do I live here? This sucks.
I live in the suburbs, and anytime I go into Philly, I'm not wild about it. So,
Oh, really?
I can assure you, you're not missing much, man.
Yeah. I maybe I just miss like Pennsylvania as a whole.
It's fun, dude. Even when I was there, like when I went to go see Shane, and I was in Philly, because like I spent a lot of time in Baltimore, and like everyone will tell you that Baltimore is the worst city, but I was in Philly, like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, some of these blocks are horrible.
Yeah, it's scary, and I feel like this is prevalent in a lot of cities now. It's just there's so much human shit on sidewalks.
It's all over the place here.
My God, dude, fucking everywhere. And it's the only two major cities that I've been to in the past like 9 months are New York and Philly. And in both fucking cities, it's like my God, fucking find an alley.
Dude, so there was a lady.
How confident are you in how dry your shit is going to be? 'Cause I feel like if I was going to shit on the sidewalk, I'd be like, all right, well, I need like a newspaper or something. I don't think I'm going to be able to just pull my pants back up and.
Yes.
Well, I feel like they're not getting a lot of fiber, so I feel like it is pretty like clean pinches, you know, like very hard pieces of shit. But
maybe they do it like a dog, where like they completely, maybe they're doing it Chinese style, where you like completely like hunch over and your ass is almost touching the floor.
You crouch down and you smoke a cigarette while you take a shit.
Yeah.
Well, there was there was a lady in Koreatown who was really good at it. Who was real, because she what she used as a toilet was, it looked like she had like ordered she had like one of the plastic trays that you get like orange chicken in. My buddy lived in Koreatown. Like,
did it look used, or did it look like she had like taken it from work?
Well, And it looked like she ate out of it at one point and then was like, "This is a multi-purpose pan, clearly," because she just had.
She's
so
upcycling.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. So she lived in this tent right off of Wilshire. This is when I would go over to my buddy Tim H's house to like before quarantine to go like work on the scripts and shit we were writing. So she like lived in this tent that was there for like months and months and months, and for months and months and months, she was shitting in just this little plastic tray because like every day I would go, there was like a tiny mountain that was forming, and it was weird. It was this thing where like I was passing by it so often that I was like almost kind of excited to like check on the progress and just be like, let's see how tall she's like, let's see if the Jenga tower has fallen yet.
I would assume that like shitting in something, the purpose was that you could dump it, but no, it's basically like a fence.
She left it right there, right in front of the door of her or the little flap of her tent. And then the most fucked up detail of all of this was because I had never seen her. I just saw, the evidence that she had been outside. I was
like a skilled tracker. You identified scat. There's an elderly Korean woman nearby.
Yeah, she is the Santa Claus of shit. Like you don't have to see him to know he was there.
Yeah, there's fucking cookie crumbs around.
A half-eaten carrot in her shit.
Yeah, and so the thing that fucked me up was like one day, like I'm leaving. This is the first time I saw her. Like I caught her like as she came out to like smoke. Like I saw her like coming out of the tent, and she looked at me. Beautiful woman, like didn't look homeless at all. Like a very attractive woman in her early 30s, and I was just like, God damn, dude, this city fucks you up so bad.
It'd be funny if she was like very particular about disposing of the cigarette butt correctly.
You know what though? Koreatown, I feel like brings that out of you. I feel like I was at my worst behavior. I love Los Angeles, and I feel like I have a huge degenerate streak. I've been pretty good the last few years, but probably the worst that I remember being in recent memory happened in Koreatown. I went to a buffet, and as I'm waiting, I was fucking hammered, and I'm trying to download this dark web browser onto my phone to try to find Coke.
Hell yes, dude.
And as I'm trying to figure that out in the lobby of this Korean barbecue, I was like, all right, I gotta throw up. So then I ran to the bathroom and the toilets were occupied. So I'm just like standing at a 45-degree angle over a urinal, throwing up into it. So I could identify what this Korean lady's going through.
Let me go back. I want to go back to the detail. You were like using Tor or like dark web to like buy drugs for a minute?
I was trying to. But
okay.
Was this the first time you had done it? Was like you're already fucked up trying to figure it out?
Yeah, I was like trying to figure it out. And normally like I was pretty good about that. I feel like you could spot it in people. Like whatever you're into, once you become into that, you're aware of like who could probably get what you need.
Definitely.
But it wasn't working out, and I was, I didn't feel like, I was pretty new to the city. I was just visiting on vacation by myself, and I was like, all right, this is probably going to be the most efficient way, which was the least efficient way possible. Just downloading Tor to a fucking Android. But and I never got it, and thank God I didn't, man, because anytime you don't get Coke, the next day you're just like, oh my God, thank God it didn't come through.
Thanks for looking at. Yeah, for a while, my buddy and I were buying drugs on the dark web. We had a locker set up at the post office.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that we were just. I mean, this was like this was a different time in my life. Well, marginally different. But yeah, that you just brought me back, dude. Navigating, I was never smart enough to navigate it. I was just like his co-pilot, like at the desk while he like was, because dude, the crazy thing is like you go on the dark web and like you literally see it's like we were using it wasn't Bitcoin, it was some other type of Ethereum, but he had Bitcoin. But like you could literally like buy people on there to like fucking kill people, like do hits, like crazy shit. Like there are services on the dark web where it's like if you want somebody dead and you have the Ethereum to cover it, they'll make it happen.
Is it like can you check them out like it's Cameo, like you could see like who they are and what they do? It's like, okay, guys, Rob Schneider.
There are video chats. You have to be careful though, like because like you can. Using your camera on the dark web is dicey because you can like open your computer up to people who will completely ruin your life.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we we perused all kind of crazy shit like when we were messing with that when I was like 20 or whatever.
Maybe that's what I'll do. If comedy and everything doesn't work out, I'll become a hitman for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You'll pass out in your victim's living room, and you'll have to be wheeled out in a fucking.
Yeah, I cut his dick sideways by accident and just passed out.
Your victim will be like fanning your face with a paper plate. You'll be laying on the floor with a knife and a leather zipper mask.
So inept he doesn't realize that I was going to murder him. He's like, oh no, this man's lost.
Now, Nick, when you guys would do that, would you get what you paid for each time?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like with it's the most reliable way I've ever gotten drugs.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad. Like this
was a long time ago though, right?
This was the ultimate aftermath of this was eventually the person I was doing this with overdosed and died but like the access that we had and the quality of the drugs was fucking crazy. Like always the best ever.
You ever think about if you had just not used the Bitcoin for that, what things would be like now?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was on his hard. I mean, it's still on his hard drive. I mean, I'm sure that computer's been thrown away, but I know that like when he died, he had like 3 whole Bitcoin on his computer, which obviously now is worth like I'd be set for life if I had access to that. But yeah, it was crazy, and it was really crazy that we would just like fucking like roll into the post office, unlock the box that we had there, and then fucking roll out with like, an entire roll of fucking like pills, 100 sheet of acid, like anything we wanted.
How terrified were you walking in there?
I had been arrested at that point for like smoking pot, but we were so, especially like in my
they were just like rattling around a can of 5-HTP like in frame right now.
Yeah, I like to have
you just like taking pills, doesn't matter what they do.
This is natural. It does really good stuff. I highly recommend 5-HTP 200 milligrams every day. Okay.
Can I see that knife, Rainey?
What?
Can I see that knife?
Yeah, I'm soothed by holding a knife.
It's a sick knife.
No, but to answer your question, we were really brazen with this shit. It didn't occur to me that there would be consequences until like my friends started dying, and then I was like, all right, let's chill. Let's chill on this.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to bring the mood down. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. We are at an hour 7. Just wanted to let you know, like not trying to rush anyone, but I just wanted to let you know.
Do you have anywhere you need to be, Rain? I don't want to keep you, man.
I don't want to be anywhere but here right now.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sick. Yeah, let's do a little bit longer. Hell yeah.
I'm mushing my burden to the bottom of my desk right now. I'm always amazed at like people's methods as far as the acquisition of drugs, because it's there's always like similar elements, but there's always like some weird caveat with everything. I remember a couple times, like I never like got into like really reliable sources for any extended periods of time. And I remember a couple times getting burned, and I feel like anytime I got burned, it was always a guy reaching down to the front of his pants to pull something out.
Yeah.
That never worked that well. It was never what I wanted it to be.
You're right. That is a really good tell. Holy shit.
All right, now I'm going to buy some weed, and then he pulls out his dick. You're like, fuck! Every time. I'm very curious. My father apparently has a medical card now, and maybe I shouldn't have said that on mic. I don't know. It's probably
it's completely
I just said he's doing something very legal, but apparently his mind reacts much differently to weed than mine.
I can't handle it. It's great. I've done the worst of the worst and was totally fine with that. But weed is something that I think would incapacitate me for a half a day.
Exact same page, dude, where it's like I've done like at my there was a point in my life when I was doing like 6 hits of acid and then like going out to do shit. Like and like could roll with it. But if I smoke even a little bit of weed, I have to leave. I can't be around people.
Yeah. I could kind of do it in Philly because I was getting like shitty weed from comedians, but here, like I go to a store and I buy. I've only smoked here like a couple times, and it was like right when I had moved here. But I remember I bought some weed, it went okay, and then like the third time I smoked it, I just like laid down in the dark and entered hell. I'm just like, all right, well, I can't do that. I can't do this here.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't remember having an enjoyable experience, and I think the last time I probably did it was when I came out to Los Angeles with my wife. I had a friend that just gave me a bunch of stuff. He's like, "Here, I just have all this stuff. Take some." And it was my first time trying an edible for the first time, and I ate like a quarter of a cookie, and I was like, "All right, this isn't doing anything." Took another half. We went out to eat. And then on the ride home, I was so terrified, I just covered my eyes because I just felt like I was dying, and I had to go to bed the rest of the night.
Yeah.
that
Anytime I
is-
smoke weed, it like ruins my next 18 hours.
Yeah, dude, you would start to get like my buddy that I worked with at the that's right. I showed up like fuck, man. I showed up to work at a hardware store one day, like high, like got high before work, and then like they needed me to like use the forklift and shit. I had to like fill propane. I was like freezing my hand on the fucking like on the propane, whatever fucking temperature they keep it at. It was so bad,
Yeah.
but I would get like he called it the layover, where like I would smoke weed the night before, and then like the next day I'd be fucking useless.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad we're having this conversation because this happens like every year. So like on the 26th of this month, it'll be 5 years since I drank alcohol. And every year around that time, I start getting like weird notions. So like yesterday, I was like, maybe I should start smoking weed. Like just start at like like now.
no,
It's nice to remember like, oh, I don't enjoy that at all.
Yeah, I've loved pretty much every other drug that I've tried, especially pills and coke.
Yeah,
But I would, if I kept going, I would just end up killing myself.
yeah. It's hard to like. I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of like just like going like totally sober. Alcohol has never been a problem for me, but just being like,
It's been a very large problem for me, Nick.
yeah. But just being like, am I reaching? I think there's still a couple more drug experiences I want to have. I've had like some nice times with people, like even since like my last freak out, where I'm like, okay, like in a controlled environment, I think I could do this. But I'm like, once I get into my early 30s, it's like I should probably fucking stop. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it, man. I mean, the only reason why I stopped doing everything I was doing is just because, I got kids. Because without having that, I would have no reservations about moving out to fucking the desert and just destroying myself in every possible way that I could and be totally fine with it then.
Oh,
The
yeah,
desert is a good place to destroy yourself.
Dude, I remember reading something about fucking Death Valley, and it was a journalist writing about how he drove through there and wanted to kind of hang out and get a feel for the place. He's like, I did not feel comfortable there, and I felt like I could have been murdered at any moment. And I remember thinking, like, man, this place fucking rules, and that's where I want to go to die.
I get that fantasy though. Like, do you see yourself in like one of the trailers from like Kill Bill?
Dude,
You just have a sword and a golf bag, and you just chill.
Brennan, there's a video I watch often. This guy that just he lived in New York for a while, but then he just gave it up and just moved out to West Texas. And he's showing his compound that he built himself. He's like, I have a phone here, but if I call 911, it's probably going to be an hour before they get to me.
Damn.
And it's like, damn, this is awesome.
Yeah, we kind of got in that headspace when we went to Joshua Tree, didn't we, Nick? We're talking about like how many podcast listeners do you think we would need to build a compound?
Right. Yeah. Well, not only that, Tom's brother is living out there now because I guess there's this new, I don't know if you compare it to like an Adobe or what, but there's this new way of like building houses. There's like this quick concrete.
Oh, the domes, the geodesic dome homes.
Yeah, you like build it yourself and like you can fucking live there. And you don't need that much land. He was really, I mean, he was speaking about it so confidently that he was probably selling me on it better than I should have been. But like it was comforting where it's like, okay, like there's always like a plan F. Like if things really go wrong, you can just go build a cement house in the desert and chill.
How sick would it be to like broadcast every week from a dome?
It'd be incredible.
We could do it like the planetarium in school.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so sick.
Nick,
I bet
when you were
they... Sorry, go on.
Nick, when you were describing that, I just pictured myself like being out there and just thinking like I could do anything out here. But then as I'm doing anything I want out in the middle of the desert, like jerking off into a tarantula, that would be the time that Google Earth takes its image of that location.
Somehow, like, PETA's mad. It's like a different kind of outrage than you anticipated.
You permanently disrupt the ecosystem of Joshua Tree. You're
Yeah.
just like-
The tarantulas start evolving.
yeah, there's a bunch of little tarantulas with Rainey's face on them running around.
We don't know how it happened, but their webs are made entirely of cum now.
Ah, fuck, they found knives? Who gave them knives? Fuck, the cum tarantulas have knives now, and I personally could not be more pissed.
Rainey, when did you get that? Because I saw you playing with the knife on Woods episode too. We should also say, if you've enjoyed this episode, definitely check out Rainey's podcast, Dad Meat. Did we plug
thank
that
you.
up
Great
top?
podcast.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to have doing with my buddy Tim Butterly, who's the funniest fucking dude on earth. And we've probably had maybe like, I would say 10 guests, and we just keep bringing the same people in just because I don't feel like we could ever run out of things to talk about with these people, and they're the funniest people I know.
I feel like,
But also, I would
yeah.
love to have you guys on. If you guys are available anytime soon, please come on.
That would be
Definitely,
sick,
man.
I would love that.
Yeah, I would love that.
I feel
So,
like
you have an open invite.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I feel like the kind of podcast, like the kind of podcast that I like, it's not about like getting big guests at all, and in fact, that would make it like worse. Like if we got like a celebrity or something that we had to like interview.
Dude, I feel the same way, and there's people that we know have reached out to us to say like, hey, if you reached out to this person, I'm willing to bet they would do it, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I just like talking to people who I know I would enjoy talking to, and there's people that I know have big followings that, yeah, maybe if I bothered them enough, I could get them to come on the podcast, but it would not be enjoyable for me to sit there and just suck somebody off for an hour.
Right.
I'd rather just sit there, and it's just like I love playing with knives while we talk to people. And there's a certain type of person that would be comfortable with that. A lot of
Right.
people wouldn't. So
Yeah.
What inspired the knife purchase, dude?
you know what? I'm just crushed by anxiety 24/7, and I originally just had this small knife that I would just play with just to keep my hands occupied and to try to reduce my anxiety when we were doing Zoom. And it got to the point where I just love holding knives now. It's just like all around my house there's just knives everywhere. And
And you have 3 kids, right?
yeah, you know, one of the most significant milestones as a parent, I gave my oldest daughter her first knife.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
That is sick.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, there's people send us knives. Like this is a knife that one of our listeners sent us. This guy who's an incredible fucking knife maker. His name's
Turquoise?
Jacob
It's a
Alman.
beautiful handle.
Yeah, dude. I can't, dude. Brendan, I wish you could feel what I'm feeling right now, which is something that a fucking serial killer would probably say. But I don't know that I've ever held anything that fits in my hand better than this fucking knife.
That looks like it has a good like heft to it, like a good balance.
I just like knives a lot now.
The hilt, is it? You call it a hilt, right? What do you call it that separates the blade from the?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It looks like a fucking pie. It looks sick as shit, dude.
It's incredible. The guy that makes these is a plumber, and he just fucking makes these incredible knives just in his free time.
That's so sick.
In the
That's
bottom,
awesome.
and he includes like a piece of copper, just as a tribute to his plumbing trade on each knife.
That is
Yeah,
beautiful.
man. Somebody will get stabbed with this someday. Like Tim Butterly, he accidentally stabbed himself 2 weeks ago, and it was I'm surprised it took this long for one of us to accidentally stab ourselves.
Damn, dude.
I bought a sword like a year ago. I was kind of having like a manic episode, and I thought the world was gonna end. Turns out I was right, but this was before then. And I was like, I'm gonna need a weapon in the wasteland, but I can't buy a gun because I'll kill myself. So I just, for some reason, bought a sword, thinking it would in any way be a practical like weapon if I ever needed one.
Did you hang on to it? You still got it?
Yeah, I still have the sword.
It's a sick sword.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's not practical, but it's like, dude, people will clock that you have honor from like a mile away.
Yeah, there were we didn't wind up doing it, but like we were gonna start doing video again. We're gonna do it again now, but like before we had a different setup, and We had the sword hanging right there behind us.
Oh, so
People would
that's
know
what's up,
this
man.
is an honorable broadcast. I can trust the information that I get here.
fuck yeah, dude.
Hear
Yeah, that's
things
what I
like-
want people to think when they watch our podcast. It's like, yeah, we want you to come and relax, but watch out.
I feel like the knives are funnier for the fact that you have like a good set.
Yeah. I also like that they're just like around your house, just like if like just in case. I assume, right? Like,
Yeah, dude, I have a cabinet over there that I keep them in when we're not doing the podcast, and also I have a bunch upstairs on my nightstand. But those two places are where they're kept. But during the course of the day, like I'll just take them out, and if I'm sitting somewhere, it's hard for me just to sit still. I get anxious very easily, and I need to play with something. And it used to be I used to have baseballs around that I used to play with, but man, boy, do I like playing with knives.
Knives are good. I'm always the guy who like if me and a group are going hiking, I'm like, oh well, you need a knife on your belt for that, definitely.
Are you guys gun guys?
I don't own a gun, but yeah, I love guns.
it's been so long. I was a gun. It's been a long time since I've shot a gun. I wanted to go to the range. Well, for like years, I've been wanting to go to the range with Crick, but I've never we never have money at the same time.
Yeah,
So, like, when-
it's like
when
$60
Crick-
every time you go, at least.
Yeah, when Crick can afford to go, I can't afford to go, and then like when I can actually afford to go, like it just never matches up.
Yeah, I belong to a range out here. I took like a class and then I got a membership, so I would go, but I would just rent the guns there. Cause like I have roommates. I tried to buy a gun, and then I realized like, it's like when I was on SSRIs, and they would make me like. I feel like they gave me bipolar when I don't have it. I don't know, but anyway, I went fully like waited in the line with all the guys with our masks, bought the gun, filled out all the paperwork, and then like a day went by, and I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that at all." And I'd like argue with the shop and be like, "I am mentally ill," like emailing them like pictures of pill bottles, like, "Do not give me my money back." Like, they really want you to keep the gun once you buy it.
If somebody talks about sex while I'm holding this gun, I will pass out.
I will pass out. I will pass out with my finger on the trigger. It'll go full auto somehow.
Yeah, I fucking love gun. I don't have one for similar reason, man. I cannot have one. Like right now, I feel like my mental health is probably the best it's been in a very long time. But oh boy, a sour mood is never too far away. So I think
Yeah.
a knife is as far as I'll go. But man, yeah, I used to love like I was when I was in the Marines. I got to shoot a lot of cool shit, and boy, was that a lot of fun. And I missed it. I would like to shoot again, but I don't know that I could ever own a gun for those reasons.
Yeah. I feel like I could, but not now. Like, I don't need to own a gun, like, as a dude with a bunch of roommates who gets moody in the middle of, like, a pandemic and, like, all this. But, like, someday things are going to be going good, and I feel like I can own a gun for, like, sporting reasons then.
Well, dude, that's how I feel about getting old. Like I always tell my buddy Eric Todd, like we're both sober and like doing okay, I guess. And I was like, dude, when we're fucking like 65, dude, we're just gonna leave our families and we're just gonna go somewhere and just fucking leaving Las Vegas. Like that's gonna be us. We're gonna do everything that we can't do now and shouldn't do now, and we're just gonna become like old mass murderers.
I think that's what would happen. Like, if my girlfriend and I get married and, like, something ever happens to her, like, if she got hit by a car or something, I would just be like, all right, and, well, I know what the rest of this is. And then I would get on a Greyhound and
Dude,
go
I
out
think
to the desert.
I think that's the case with a lot of people. Like the only reason why I feel like I could be an upstanding citizen right now is because I have responsibilities to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't have that, boy, would I be enjoying prostitutes right now.
That's got to be one of the few downsides to being the alone compound guy is how are you going to find hookers when the police can't get there for an hour?
Have you ever used a fleshlight?
I have, but I don't think I gave it like the right go. I think I wanted to not like it so that it didn't become a core part of my life.
Well, it also depends on like what build quality, because there's like cheapo fleshlights and there's like nice flesh. From what I've never used one, but from what I understand, like the difference between $20 and $100 is huge.
I'm sure. I mean, the one I got, it was like a gag gift, so it's like, aha, very funny. I am going to use this. But
I've always
gift.
wondered about like fleshlights, like it's like that combined like if I was also on drugs, like how heightened would that experience be? You know, and like let's say like you mix a fleshlight bait with like acid or Molly or something. It's like, is that a good time? Like, is that like a worthwhile heightening of the experience? But
I feel like the flashlight's going to like speak telepathically to you.
Oh my god, Nick, that's one of the things I hope to find out as an old man. I'm gonna make fucking the Lemon Party picture look like a goddamn Pixar movie. You're getting me all hot and bothered now, man. My hips are thrusting, dude. When I get riled up, my hips start thrusting.
I see that chair bopping up and down.
Great, you've given me a boner. Are you guys happy?
Yeah, I mean, I've only there's this one other time where I went to a sex shop and I was buying a fleshlight, but I didn't realize I was buying like single-use fleshlights. I didn't know those existed. So the guy's like, "Oh, these are 2 for 1." I'm like, "All right." So I guess I have to give one to a buddy. That's kind of weird, but all right, I'll get. And then I
can finger one while I fuck the other one.
Gonna eat pussy.
69.
That's how much of a feminist I am. I eat the fleshlight.
Yeah, it had like it was like a Pringles can where it had like a seal you rip off, and on the but on the inside there's just a pussy, and then I
bet you can't fuck just one.
And then I put my finger in it and it was already wet, and I'm like, oh, this is a different product than this is not the time I was expecting.
Dude, that's something that they don't tell you about these devices is I got a sex torso from Butterly for my last birthday because I had gotten scammed on a Chinese sex toy website, and I was just I was crestfallen. But he ordered me one. It was legit, and it was the cheeks, the pussy, and a belly. Oh, and man, I went to town on this thing. But the thing is, when you clean it out, it never dries. Like you probably, if you sun dried it and maybe like put it on the roof for a day, it could probably dry out. But I mean, who can do that?
Right.
So
who wants that out there?
Yeah. Just put on a clothesline, have it hanging from 2 clothespins. Yeah. But it gets disgusting after a while, and I can't. Yeah. I don't know. I think Fleshlight, they probably have the most intricate cleaning system because I think you can remove it and then hang it out like a sock.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Like it's prolapse, basically.
Yes.
That would be fun to put it out like that and just dare your HOA, like point to the rule you have about this. I want to see the line. I want to see the writing where you specifically address this. You don't.
Oh fuck, dude.
I'll bring my garbage cans in, but this I will not. I will not back down on.
You'll pry it from my cold dead hand.
Yeah, it was like a $15 cum, like these disposable ones.
Yeah, it's like how much at that? I'm like, how much better can it be than just like using your hand at that point?
Yeah. Jerking off. I'm 42, and jerking off still hasn't lost its luster for me.
Right?
I love it. Yeah, every day almost.
Really? You're still putting those numbers up at 42?
I do, and it's every now and again, like I'll try to mix it up and maybe look at a still photo or try to jack one from memory. But yeah, man, I'm still cleaning the pipes on a regular basis.
That's tight, dude.
I'm jealous.
How about you guys?
I don't know. I'm 29, and I probably every couple days. For the most part, I try not to, and I try to just let my sex life be with my girlfriend and not jerk off.
That's a smart move, man, because it's hard to flip the switch.
Yeah, it's tough because when you're single, it's like you have to like remember like where the exit is because otherwise you'll just look around and you're like, you're just like, oh well, You're single too long watching porn, and then eventually it's just like, well, what makes me come is so irrelevant to like a sexual experience at this point.
Yeah, you look at your girlfriend and you're like, well, there's not 8 of you, so I don't think that this is.
Yeah, we do not have the budget for what would typically make me come.
Yeah, then it's like, all right, well, do you want to have sex? Yeah, let me just go put on my gear. My gear? No, I'll explain. You'll come out with like shoulder pads or something.
I come a lot. I come. My roommates fucking know I do this. The walls are thin. I don't know. I don't know if this is. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I masturbate a lot, but I also like. I'm in a long distance thing with my girlfriend right now, and like, we'll have phone sex like 2 to 3 times a day.
You'll
and
never
then,
her
like,
come to the post office. She'll buy it over the dark web. She's got 3 Jitcoin on her computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, her locker won't even open. It's just like sealed shut.
Nick walks
Wait, you
out of
have
his
phone
tent
sex, man?
and he comes in a General Tso's container.
It's like you know those like wet sand castles that you make when you're a kid, like on the beach. You just fucking,
This Korean lady's like standing outside your apartment, like, I gotta see how this guy comes. Like, I see come on this sidewalk every day, and I gotta see what he looks like.
at this point we're deep enough in the episode. I don't think she'll get to this part, but yeah, we I don't know. Well, I mean, when we're together, it's like we both have pretty high set. Like we, if she hears this, I'll delete it later. I'll edit it later. But yeah, we both have pretty high sex drives. We have sex a lot, and then like we have phone sex like basically the same amount like every day. Like phone sex, Skype sex, like it's a big part of the relationship.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's nice. It's actually really nice. But yeah.
One of the things that I really enjoy is just sexting with my wife.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the things that we're riled up about now is I got her this. Make sure my family's not outside. Yo, is anybody out there? All right, I can tell this. Because my kitchen's right on the other side of this wall. But
I was curious about the layout.
yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. But I got my wife this underwear vibrator that's controlled through your phone.
Oh shit, dude.
So we're looking forward to that coming, and yeah, we're gonna set it up. And I haven't told her yet, but I'm gonna have a little fun with her. She's gonna wear it and be sitting on the bench and think I'm controlling it, but I'm actually gonna be playing Minecraft on my phone. I'm gonna placebo effect her.
That's fucking awesome.
My girlfriend had something like that where she gave me like a little ring to control, but it was broken. So then we were just out to dinner and I'm wearing like a thumb ring. I'm just like, now it just appears I'm Italian.
Fuck, that's so funny.
It's great. Like you can really get anything. Like it's really there's no better time right now for creeps.
Oh yeah, well there's still. It's like, do you remember like it was like in 2001 a guy like accidentally discovered like an implant. I forget what I think the initial like function for it was to like something to like ease like back pain like through a nerve. It was some kind of implant that he was developing to fix back pain, and it was giving women orgasms like as a side effect, like with the push of a button with this like implant therapy that he was using, and he was getting ready to like refine it into just that and take it to market, but it never happened. But we got to be close to
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, we got to be so close to cyberpunk shit where it's literally like you can just get like a chip that makes you come, which I don't know if that's sick or if it's a bummer, but like I feel like I'd like to try it if we get there.
Yeah, but then you get hacked.
Oh, that
You'd be in.
Did you ever?
You'd be in line somewhere and just. Oh.
Did you ever see it was like it was a TLC something, I forget what it was, but it was like My Strange Life or something. The dude where he was like in a car accident and it pinched a nerve in such a way where like he would have like uncontrollable orgasms like all day.
Oh, and it destroyed his life.
It destroyed his life because he was at his father's viewing, like his dad died, and he approached the casket to view his father's body and for the last time, and he was like, and I was just having orgasm after orgasm.
I think I remember watching this, and if I remember correctly, like nobody was really giving him any slack about it.
Yeah, everybody.
Come on, Dave.
I love those like just like short like YouTube documentaries about just like some pervert.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. My favorite, I'm sure I've talked about it on the show before, but my favorite is the one about the non-offending pedophile who's like an activist for pedophiles, where he's like, not all of us molest children. Some of us choose not to interact with them or to have internet or anything. But the funniest part about it is that like he just also has a hook hand. It's just so sick.
That's right. Yeah. Well, there was the one guy who was like, he outed himself as a pedophile when he was like 15 or something, which it's gotta.
I mean, at that point, like 15, like wait it out. You don't even know yet.
Well, that means that, but that
could be a phase.
Is like he must have been like into babies, you know? Because like it does have to suck that like at a certain point, the rest of the world just passes you by, and you're like, fuck, god damn it. It's cool.
He's like, Dad, I'm a pedophile. He's like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a tough cross to bear. Like, I think you're right, Nick. Like, that's not a like. Yeah, I'm in high school, but I'm in the middle schoolers. That's you're getting a boner when Muppet Babies comes on.
What foresight! Like, I got to get out ahead of this.
Dude, there's a really cool YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly. You guys ever watch those interviews?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
They're great, dude. Nick, did you see any of the recent sex offender ones?
No, it's been a minute. They were a channel that I had on a rotation for a while. Them and like JCS and all this shit. But no, I haven't seen any of the recent ones.
There's in December, I feel like they started, but he interviewed a slew of sex offenders, and some of them are people that are just like, boy, oh boy, this guy needs to be put down, and other ones you genuinely feel bad for, where they're just like, look, I'm fucked up. I know I'm fucked up, and I don't know how to fix this.
Yeah, well, it's like it in a way I compare it to serial killers, where like there's the backstory to a lot of serial killers is like they experience like horrific abuse. They're like fucked, and so, and of course like that doesn't give you an excuse to act on whatever your urges are, but like there is like a sympathetic backstory a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean you could. I think it's perfectly normal to feel, simultaneous emotions for these people. Like, did the Night Stalker documentary just came out?
Just watched it, yeah.
Ooh boy,
How
like
is
the one
it?
part where it's fucking incredible. Two things about it. One, going back to what we were just talking about, where they mentioned that Ramirez's father would discipline him by crucifying him in a fucking cemetery and leaving him there overnight. It's like, no shit, he's a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, dude.
But then one thing, I'm sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was going to say one funny tidbit that they left out from the Night Stalker story is that one of his victims, he did not kill this victim. He broke into their house, ransacked the place, I believe sexually assaulted them, and then before he left, he had them make him breakfast.
Well, he was doing that a lot. He was like raping and killing people, and then just like taking a honeydew melon out of the fridge, just like eating it with their like silverware. Well, there was a part in that documentary that struck me funny. So do you remember the one girl that he doesn't kill, but he rapes, and she just happened to live across from the one female criminal investigator? And like because her story is, she's like, yeah, I had some friends over. I had friends staying with me, and we were all in the hot tub, and we went in at like 3 a.m. And there, like the way she was describing it, I was like, were you having a threesome?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah.
It sounded like because there's even a way she stutters where she's like, my girlfriend woke me up. I mean, she came from the other bedroom and woke me up. And I was like, I mean, I didn't assume she was in bed with you.
Dude, just imagine like you're 69 and then it's like you got to pull apart cheeks to make sure you hear correctly. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Did you just hear somebody call my name?
Dude, that was
I heard it again.
But dude, an orgy so good that you straight up just like missed the Night Stalker. That had to be a fucking awesome nut those people were having.
Or if the guy didn't get the bust yet, he's pounding cheeks out. Then all of a sudden you hear like an elderly voice from across the street. It's like, I was just raped by the Night Stalker, and this guy's like, oh, for crying out loud. What are the odds?
Just a horny stakeout.
Well, that whole documentary was That whole documentary was fucking me up because this. So I used to work at an escape room. I might still work there. I don't know. It's got to open back up. I lived in East LA where a lot of that shit was happening, and I worked in an escape room in Echo Park. And this is when I was like fucking poor as shit, like couldn't afford an Uber, and my job would end at like 2 a.m. And every night I would walk from Echo Park through downtown through East LA for like an hour and a half to get home at like 3:30. And the entirety of this documentary takes place basically on the strip that I would walk. And I was watching it just like, fuck me, dude. What was I doing? I was really like, not obviously he's dead, but I'm just like, it's clearly an area that attracts that.
Well, dude, the one thing that they got into that scared the shit out of me, and I didn't want to hear any more about it, but then I saw an interview with one of the investigators where he elaborated further upon it. But the one with the little girl that he kidnapped.
Yeah.
And he took her to a Skid Row motel. Yes.
It was the haunted hotel. And I visit it all the time because it like the vibes on that place, you feel it. It's crazy. That's where the Black Dahlia spent the night before she was murdered.
Oh, dude, I would love to see that place, man, because I love creep shit. I love visiting fucking murder sites. Like when I came out to Los Angeles the last couple of times, I went to the Manson sites, I went to the OJ sites, so that would be right up my alley.
Dude, you got to go to Sowden House. Sowden House is we did a bonus episode about it. Sowden House is on Franklin. It was built by Lloyd Wright. It was made to look like a Mayan like sacrifice temple. It was owned by this dude George Hodel, who they're pretty sure is the prime suspect as the dude who killed the Black Dahlia, because he would have like Man Ray and all these weird like surreal artists hang out, and they would have like BDSM parties where like the girls would get fucked up really bad, and then they would like paint pictures of what they did to the girls. And this place, it's crazy because it does look like a Mayan temple where they sacrifice people, and then on either side of it is just like regular house apartment, and you walk in front of that place and you're like, this is it feels evil. It's a very scary place to be.
It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nick, I'm pretty sure I saw that place for sale within the past few years.
Really, I think now it's owned. I don't know. I don't think it's residential anymore. I think it's owned by. I think they have like private events there when they do have events there. But I might be wrong about
what
that.
Kind of event would you rent that place out for?
They
I guess just another BDSM evil party.
A quinceañera.
That's the perfect age.
It's for an up and coming like pedophile oligarch. It's like I can't quite own my own sacrifice temple.
It's like a pedophile quinceañera. Like the kids that are 15 and recognize it. They show up in a white suit and they get knighted with a little sword.
And they get to cross to the adult side of the room and join.
They have a laptop set up that he could use. Like now, this is your adult laptop.
Yeah.
That's why everybody like poo-poos the idea that like there's a like Hollywood has like a deep history of like Satanism and pedophilia. Like if you bring that up, you're like a conspiracy theorist. But like this house like is a testament to that, and like all of the who's who like in the town at that time were fucking attending parties here. It's not like it's got a made up history.
Dude, that's one of the things that I really love about Southern California, and especially like Hollywood, is there's you could feel weird shit in certain places. Like I mentioned, one of the sites of the Manson murders. Like I drove up to like as close as you can go to the old Sharon Tate property. It feels scary up there. Like it feels creepy whether you go up at nighttime or daytime. It definitely feels like something bad happened there.
Yeah, dude, Cielo is. I would go up there when I was doing. I would deliver Postmates to like people when I was doing delivery. Like you deliver to like celebrities, people up in the hills, and I would drive on Cielo sometimes, like when I was doing deliveries, and it's just like, oh, this is where it fucking happened. This is
holy
really
shit,
weird.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, the farthest that
Delivering
I went
Skittles
was
to someone doing something equally terrible.
it's every weekend.
Yeah. Guy in an eyes wide shut mask opens and he takes his Sprite Zero.
He's like, thanks for the nuggets.
Yeah, dude, the farthest that I've gotten to it, I think it is Bella Drive. I think it's right across the street from it. And I've never gone up Cielo. There's one thing. There's a guy that owns a property on Cielo before you get to the gates. Where I think the property is now owned by Jeff Franklin, one of the creators of Full House.
Oh, really?
I think, and he built this fucking monstrosity there. I don't know if he's still there, but he's the one that brought the property after the last owner that had the house as is just decided to let it go. but one of the guys that lives on the house lives on one of the guys that lives on the houses that's along the driveway on Cielo. He claims that it's haunted, and he lets people pay like $80 to go there and hang out and eat barbecue, and he tells ghost stories about the place.
Whoa, I will do that fucking as soon as I can. I didn't even know that.
Dude, his name's Jeffrey Oman, I think. Or Jeffrey Oman. Oman, I think.
I mean, he's got...
It's got to be Omen.
Name.
Yeah.
Dude, and you go there, and like he tells you ghost stories, and he claims that like every room of his house is haunted and what he experiences in each room. But on top of that, he'll make you barbecue chicken.
That's pretty sick.
That's so fucking tight.
One of the sides he serves you is Sharon tater tots. A baked Sharon tater is just covered in ketchup.
This should have been a post-credit scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
But he doesn't have it often. Like I'll check back on his website, and I think he normally makes the announcements on his Facebook page. But it's probably like when he just needs like a quick infusion of cash, where he's just like, "Yo, for the next 2 weeks, if you want to come hang out." And I could be making this up because when I get excited about things, I tend to over exaggerate the details. I think there's nights where you can stay overnight.
Dude, I'm ready. I've got so many notes right now. I've got the Jeff Omen Sharon Tate house, back to the hotel in Too Deep. The minute we're off this call, I'm like looking into all this shit.
Dude, that fucking song, you're going to want to fucking get a flat brim hat and fucking a Motel 6.
Oh, fuck.
I'm very excited.
It's actually still a good song, though. I listened to it a few months ago, and I was like, yeah, this is still pretty cool, and it should be the Wigger National Anthem.
That's fucking awesome.
What other creepy places have you guys been to out there?
It's mainly, I got into it when in quarantine in October, I was tired of being in my house. So I started loading up these podcasts. It's haunted places. And like, they just like basically, they characterize these various haunted locations, like actual facts interspersed with like urban legends about them.
Okay.
And so I like went down the list of like, I think the only two places I made it to were Soudan House and Cecil Hotel. Mm-hmm. And there was another cemetery that I listened to the episode, but I didn't walk there. So I would walk it would take me like from my house to get to Soudan House. The episode was like an hour, and I was listening to music. And then like when I got like 30 minutes away from it, I started listening to the episode. And then like right as I like got to the house, it was like the creepiest fucking part of the podcast. And it was like the best way I could have spent fucking.
Oh God, that's cool.
October, yeah, but it's mainly just been the Cecil and Soudan.
I'm pretty sure there's a new documentary about the Cecil Hotel.
Really, I gotta see it.
Yeah, I gotta again. Like I might be making this up, but is the Cecil also where that woman? Where the footage? Yeah, that's so scary. You see the footage of her just like looking out for shit that's not there.
Oh, is this the lady who drowned? That one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they found her in the water tank, right?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And also, like you don't know what to make of it, but like the same thing, like it has something to do with like the test that they use for like testing like the purity of the water is like the Lam Elisa test, spelled exactly like her name.
Oh no!
But it wasn't named after her. It was just like this insane coincidence.
Damn.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
Well, I don't care for that one bit.
Yeah. Yeah. The video, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Nick, how would you react if like that was the lady who was shitting outside of her tent? she had a room at the Cecil Hotel, but she was just like, I'm not going in that bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you're drinking the water and the lady died in. You're like, okay, but then you find out that she was like shitting on the ground and not wiping. You're like, well, now this is gross.
This is disgusting.
That's horrible.
I would like 50% off of my room from this hotel.
Well, that hotel, I don't know when they're going to tear it down, but I mean, it's not for a while. I think homeless people were posting up there for a while because it was like abandoned, and they were like breaking in and like living in the rooms and shit. And now when you go there, you can't. It's not functional. Like it's all fucking boarded up. The doors are locked. All this shit. Like I think for a while it was owned, but like they were trying to rehab it. I think after the Eliza Lamb thing is when they were like, we need to rebrand this, rehab it, and then they just gave up on it.
They should make it into a Dave and Buster's.
Should make it into a fucking 40-story Dave and Buster's or whatever.
Or they should just lean in and make it like a spooky hotel. Like you check in,
Yeah,
the guy has like a
dude.
sheet over him.
Barn Dog, that's the way to go, man. There was something I saw when I was out there. It was when the first It movie was coming out. And I guess this is a common occurrence, but I'm a fucking retard from the East Coast who thinks everything I see out there is super cool and unique. But they had taken this property that was on a corner in Hollywood and turned it into like the It experience. Like
I went there, yeah.
I couldn't get a ticket. It was sold out. But it was just like, oh my God, this is the coolest shit ever. And I don't know why stuff like this doesn't happen more often. But they should definitely do that with that fucking hotel.
They did it for both movies, and I went both times. It was pretty sick, actually.
It looked awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I never do shit like that. I'm hoping that like once quarantine and everything is over, I'll actually be motivated to like live in Los Angeles because I'm here.
I know we like to shit on the city, but especially even like moving to Echo Park, there's a lot of cool shit here. There's so much cool shit to go see.
There is a lot of really cool shit, and even like as much as I now look at it as a place that like regularly hurts my feelings, it is cool to like go to the Comedy Store and remember like, oh, I read books about this when I was in high school.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And now I get to go here and be told that I'm not allowed to perform whenever I want.
Dude, I had always like dreamed of just being able to go out there. And there was like a time into my early 20s where it just felt like I was so broke that it just felt like I was never going to get there. And I remember watching this documentary on the E! Channel where it was just like kind of like a 1 hour like promo for Los Angeles. I was like, wow, that's super cool. And then I was like looking up flights, and it was like flights were like $400, and I was like, I will never have $400 to get there. Yeah. And then finally, like I was like in 2013, I think I went for the first time, and I stayed at the Magic Castle, which is right around the corner from the church where they filmed part of Back to the Future.
Yeah. And
like that was like, to me, like that was like, it was like magical. It was like, this is why I wanted to come out here to see this kind of shit that people pass by on a daily basis and don't think anything of it. But this shit is super cool to me.
For me, a big one was I used to work from my cubicle. I could turn and see the Animaniacs water tower. So it was like, awesome. So it was like sick, but then it was also like I would look and see this like symbol of show business, and then just turn back to like loan applications and keep working.
Well, the most fun I ever had in LA, even though I was like making no money, was when I was doing delivery, because I would get to deliver to like fucking like celebrities, like you know, like hand Rebecca De Mornay her fucking like veggie bites and be like, dude, I busted nuts to you in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Like
you tell her that, you're like, what, no tip? 15%, bitch.
But it, like there's ways to weasel. I've done it a lot since living here. Like I've weaseled my way into like premiere parties that I wasn't supposed to be at. I've like weaseled my way like into like the Chateau Marmont. Just like I delivered. Food
I would love to go there.
Dude, well, you can't anymore. Now it's private only. But like, you know, it used to be if you had money, you could just rent a room there, and like maybe you'd see fucking like Taylor Swift down at the pool, some crazy shit like that.
What do you have to get, like a membership now, or is it?
And now it's exclusive. You have to be like a celebrity. It's like being on Rhea or something.
God damn it.
But I went there, like I delivered food.
How many
one
Patreon subscribers counts?
And you know, I made the drop off at the room, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking hang out at the chateau. Like nobody can tell me not to.
Mm-hmm.
I got in.
Did you chill at the bar?
No, I didn't, because I did still have to make money that day. But I just went. I walked around. I went to every floor, and then I walked around the pool, and then I went back to my car. But like I spent like 30 minutes in there.
What did you think of it?
It's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah,
it was super fucking cool. Because it's just one of those things where you're like, it's like Brendan said, like you read about this. This seems completely like, you know, like when you're in the suburbs of Maryland, it seems like completely inaccessible, and then you're there.
Dude, I remember first having those feelings when I was a kid watching the Brady Bunch, and I'm pretty sure like the house that they were showing in the beginning was in Sherman Oaks. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I just remember like, oh my God, like people actually fucking live there. I can't believe this. And then it's like, yeah, like getting to see it and getting to experience it. It's like you're going to see within like a minute time frame, you could see the coolest shit that you never thought you'd ever fucking see, and then step in human shit on the sidewalk.
You
And I think that's
will
what I love
step in
about Los
shit.
Angeles.
Yeah, everybody's reaction, like when you take them to Hollywood Boulevard, which is the most like, I don't know why you would ever fucking go there, but like
Just
they're
a
like,
piss parade.
it's a piss parade. Yeah, it's like I took my girlfriend there when she visited, and she was like, "This is like the Hollywood," like, and I was like, "Yeah, it fucking sucks. This is you never want to spend time here." The dichotomy is just you're right. The dichotomy is crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
when I
However,
I'm
you
sorry, go
can
ahead,
visit
Bart.
Donald Trump's star,
Yeah,
which has. I remember the first time I was here, Nick. I was staying with Nick, and we went to the Hollywood Boulevard, and we came across Donald Trump's destroyed star because this was like 2015. And we just stopped there. We paid our
Paid
respects.
your respects.
we took a black and white picture with it.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, you
And-
left out the coolest.
Oh,
go
what?
ahead.
Sorry. And I was gonna say, and we didn't know that he would win, so we confidently posted that picture on Facebook.
Oh damn!
It was on my Tinder. I was using it to try to fuck in Los Angeles.
How'd you make out?
Pretty well, not bad. But Brendan, you didn't even mention the coolest part. You were fucking in Los Angeles because the short film you were in was premiering at the fucking Chinese theater, dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Like,
Yeah.
like the place where they do red carpet premieres.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
dude!
a Maryland filmmaker made this horror movie that got into a bunch of festivals and stuff. And I would attribute that mainly because like the it had a lot of like 80s style practical effects that looked cool as hell. But then I was for some reason the lead, just like at my fattest, just like
Oh yes.
I was at my fattest, and the plot of the movie is I get a hooker and then she kills me. So there's like a lot of me with my shirt off and like making out and stuff.
Well, an early Brendan connection is that was it was between me and Brendan, and I said no to the director.
Oh no way.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because
Well,
your
I
girlfriend
agree
wouldn't
with-
let you.
my girlfriend at the time would not let me do it.
I definitely agree with the director's choice because if out of the two of you, Brendan definitely looks like the one that would get killed by a hooker.
Yeah, they did. It was crazy. They did like a life cast of my head where I had to, and this was like I didn't know these guys. The director just gave me an address. I drove somewhere in Maryland, went into this guy's basement, and they just covered me in clay for like 3 hours. And then they just made an exact replica of me that when you pulled a string, it like crushed and blood shot out the nose.
Oh my god.
It
Yeah.
looked awesome.
Bart Dog, what would you do if you found out that Dan Schneider bought that mold and beats off to it?
I would tell him that he can hire me for a lot less money. However much that mold cost.
You have to wear it if you're running an orgy at the Southern House. Like you have to be wearing the Barn Dog cast.
That would be sick. Like, I would love to, like, do that to a woman. Like, we're hooking up, and I turn the lights off, then I turn them back on, and I'm wearing a mask of me.
Guys, what's the scariest thing that you've experienced since living out there?
Living in my car.
How long did you have to do that for?
It was on and on. Well, it really happened like twice. It collectively altogether, it was like a few months. There was also one night I will say, and it was on the same strip that they cover in The Night Stalker. There was one night when I went to a comedy show with my old roommates. I was there on a date, and basically what happened was my old roommate was like kind of a bad person, super narcissistic. And she dedicated her entire set to like embarrassing me and my date, and like because
Oh,
like,
that's
we had
awful.
like, yeah, we had like spent the night in the house before, and she like fucking told everybody like, it just not funny, really awkward for us. And so I was gonna ride home with them, but she was so drunk that like when she asked me what I thought of her set, and I was like, I didn't love it, and then she like flipped out at me and told me to like fuck off and find my own ride home. So I don't have cell service because like I just stopped paying my phone bill because I'm like I don't need it. It's too much money. I hate being on my phone. So it was like 1 a.m. I was in Silver Lake, had to get back to East LA. The train to East LA stopped running. so I had to do the walk that I usually did. It was shorter than the walk that I would take from work, so I wasn't that worried about it. But like crossing that bridge over the LA River, somebody like slinked out of like, so homeless people like post up in like the I don't know they're like little alcoves on the bridge, and homeless people like post up like they have their entire lives there. And I was walking, and this dude slinked out of one of the alcoves and followed me for like a good like 5 blocks. And like I didn't want to start running, but I kept my pace consistent. And then finally I just started like going down like different corners until I lost him. But I that was the first time I was like, I think something really fucking bad is going to happen to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really creepy.
Did you like get a good look at him, or you just felt him most of the time?
I looked back twice, enough to make sure that he was following me, and then I mainly just listened for his footsteps. And then I was like, I'm not going to look back. I'm going to look like. My big thing is like whenever I feel uncomfortable in any part of town at any time, it's like just look like you're supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
See, we got to get you a knife, Nick.
I know. I need a beautiful plumber's knife.
Take this one, Nick.
Yeah, or just do the Zoom call. So that's the scariest thing.
Jesus,
I'm trying to
dude.
think. I've like forgotten everything that's ever happened to me. I've been in this room so long. Fuck. I know that maybe the time the guy like tackled me while I was like hosting a bar show.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I was hosting a show. This guy kept blowing the light, and he like wouldn't get off stage. And I came on to like like applaud him off.
Yeah.
And he just like grabbed onto me and tackled me to the ground.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, that was not great. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything like supernatural that's happened to me or anything weird like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I had scarier experiences in PA than here.
I think that tracks. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But by and large, Nick, by and large, though, like when you would make that walk from work anytime you had to, like there was never any other issues?
I mean, you'd meet some weird, like when you cross, because you have to like, depending on which way you go, you either cross like under a bridge or over, under and a tunnel or over a bridge. And sometimes there'd be people like posted up in the tunnel, but they were usually passed out. But like by and large, it was scary the first couple times, and then like everything else in my life, I just did it so much that I stopped realizing it was weird or risky. Mm-hmm. But it was mainly just that one time. Some people would like shout at you, you'd see some weirdos, but like never felt dangerous.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. I hate to cut this short.
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
but
man.
I do.
Yeah.
I unfortunately do have to go call my babe.
Yeah, I've had to pee for like
yeah.
45 minutes, so that works for me. Mike,
Guys, this was the best.
yeah, thank you
Yo,
so much. You were
Mike.
a sick guest.
Thank you so much for doing this, dude. This was everybody listen to Dad Meat. It fucking rules.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. And I had a fucking blast, man. I really fucking enjoyed myself tonight. And yeah, whenever you guys can, you have an open invitation to please come on Dad Meet. We would love to have you.
Hell yeah.
We'll definitely do that.
We'll take you up on that. Thank you.
Awesome. You guys are the best. Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Love you too, dude. See ya.
See you guys.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See a lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo, heavy petting on a Friday night. That talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh, that's right, it's time to fillet. No need to debate me, I suck until I go ooh-wee and spray my white pee-pee. I got that ski.